Every planet in the solar system has a reputation. Venus melts you. Jupiter crushes you. Mercury? Mercury is the one scientists quietly call a loaded gun, because Mercury is the only planet that might one day throw Earth out of the sky. Give me 8 minutes. You will understand why the smallest, most ignored planet is the only one with a documented chance of ending our world. For most of history, Mercury was the boring one, a small gray rock covered in craters, hugging the sun so closely that most people have never actually seen it. When the Mariner 10 probe flew past in the 1970s, the pictures looked like our moon. Dead. Finished. Case closed. Then, in 2011, a spacecraft called Messenger slid into orbit, and the case fell apart. Start with one number. At noon, Mercury's surface reaches 430 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. At night, the same rock drops to minus 180. That is a swing of 600 degrees, the most violent temperature change on any planet we know. There is almost no atmosphere to soften it, just rock, vacuum, and a sun that hangs up to 3 times larger in the sky than it does here. But the temperature is not the scary part. The scary part is that the closer we looked, the less this planet made sense. Take its heart. Mercury's metal core fills about 60% of the planet's volume. Earth's core fills 15%. Mercury is not a rock with some metal inside. It is a cannonball wearing a thin coat of stone, and nobody can fully explain it. One camp says Mercury was born this way, built from metal-rich material close to the sun. Another camp says something enormous hit it long ago and blasted most of its rocky body into space. 2 stories, one planet, no verdict. And then there is the ice. In craters near the poles, where sunlight never reaches, Messenger found frozen water ice, on the closest planet to the sun, a world that melts lead by day, hiding glaciers in its shadows. It gets stranger. Mercury has a magnetic field. Besides Earth, it is the only rocky planet that still does. A shield. But a weak one, roughly 1% as strong as ours. And it sits in the worst neighborhood imaginable, where the solar wind hits up to 10 times harder than it hits Earth. Scientists wanted to know what happens when the sun erupts and hurls 1 billion tons of plasma at that shield. The Messenger data gave them an answer. During extreme eruptions, the entire dayside magnetic shield is pressed down below the surface of the planet. It does not bend, it does not weaken, it disappears. And the raw plasma of the sun slams directly into the ground. Think about that for a second. A planet whose shield can be switched off by weather. And that is still not the dangerous part. Here is the part that changed my mind about Mercury. We used to call it dead. It is not. The planet is shrinking. As its huge core cools, Mercury contracts, and its crust wrinkles like the skin of a drying apple. Giant cliffs run across its face for hundreds of kilometers, scars from a world folding in on itself. Since its birth, its diameter has shrunk by several kilometers, and some of those scars look young. Then, this year, researchers in Bern trained a machine learning model on images of Mercury and found around 400 bright streaks running down its slopes. The best explanation so far is gases escaping from inside the planet. Mercury is venting, breathing in a way. A shrinking, groaning, still active world, sitting in a furnace. And yet, none of this is why some scientists genuinely worry about Mercury. The real reason has nothing to do with its surface. It is the orbit. In 2009, Jacques Lascar and Michael Gastineau in Paris published a study in the journal Nature. They took the entire solar system and ran it forward 5 billion years on a supercomputer. Not once. 2,501 times, each run starting with a difference of just a few millimeters in Mercury's position. A few millimeters. Remember that. In most runs, nothing happens. The planets circle on. But in about 1% of them, Mercury's orbit slowly locks into a rhythm with Jupiter. Jupiter pumps it, orbit after orbit, like a hand pushing a swing. Mercury's path stretches, becomes an ellipse, then a blade crossing the orbit of Venus. From there, the simulations show several endings. Mercury falls into the Sun. Mercury hits Venus. And in a handful of runs, the chaos spreads inward, until Venus or Mars collides with Earth. The trigger of every one of those catastrophes is the same small planet. And a study published last year added one more twist. Stars passing near our solar system raise the odds of Mercury going unstable by 50 to 80%. Their gravity tugs at the outer planets, and the tug trickles inward, all the way down to the smallest one. Now, to be honest with the numbers, 1% spread over 5 billion years is small. In 99% of all simulations, the solar system just keeps turning. By the time any of this could matter, the Sun itself will be dying anyway. No astronomer is losing sleep over Mercury. The scientific consensus is that our solar system is stable, but the full phrase they use is marginally stable. And marginally is doing a lot of quiet work in that sentence. Because here is what Mercury really taught us. We cannot know our own future. The solar system is chaotic. Shift one planet by a few millimeters, and after 100 million years, every prediction dissolves. There is no calendar of the heavens. There never was. The clockwork universe we believed in for 3 centuries has a small, fast, scarred planet in it that refuses to be clockwork. This November, the Bepi Colombo mission of Europe and Japan will finally settle into orbit around Mercury. 2 spacecraft, 8 years of flight, built to look into that oversized metal heart. Maybe they will explain it. Maybe they will find something worse. Until then, Mercury keeps circling. Small, quiet, easy to ignore. The gun will almost certainly never go off. But it is loaded. It has been loaded for 4.5 billion years. And it points at us.